hops on.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes from there. All right, so we're live here.
Can
Welcome,
you
Chris.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
You're live, just so you
And
know.
for the record, I have the sunglasses on because they're prescription, and I broke my normal glasses, so I'm not that big of a douche.
We'll go with
Okay.
that.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
Is Clay going to be late?
I don't know. As far as I know, he's going to be here at 7, but
He's probably pulling his trailer around.
could be. Could be. So what's up, man? You want me to ask questions first, or you want to go first?
You can go ahead and go first, and then I got some ready for you. So we'll wait till some people hop on for yours because
Okay.
yours are really, real personal.
Oh, great.
I need to know what your pronouns are though before we get started.
He.
He, him. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I addressed you correctly. I didn't want to offend you.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what's your backstory? How'd you get into softball? What's your position in softball now?
Um. So, 2007, I was in school in Toledo, college. I don't know. I somehow graduated, and there was like a rec league that we played or whatever. And then I was like, well, we should play over the summer. So I called the Brookville League, which is a little town outside of Dayton, and it was a bunch of buddies I played high school ball with, and I didn't know a fucking thing about softball. And they call and they asked, they go, so what sort of classification are you? I said, I don't know what that means. He goes, well, there's A, B, C, D, and E. I'm like, oh, well, we all a couple guys played college ball, we played high school, like we're probably like B players or something like that. So, needless to say, the very first tournament that I ever played in was a Suns, sunflower or spits tournament down in Kettering Fields. I don't know if you've ever remember that. That was a long time ago, like
Yeah.
2007, 2008. I forget exactly what it was. I don't think any of us hit the ball out of the infield, and I think we were playing like C teams or something.
Okay.
But then it went from there, and I mean, now I'm pretty much kind of done. Just a couple reasons. Had the kid, got a lot going on at work, and I just can't do it much longer. Body is, and I just like to have fun with it. I just enjoy being stupid, and it gives me a little bit of a
He's mastered
release.
that.
What's that, Clay?
Oh, y'all can hear me?
You're
Yeah.
not wearing your American Fighter shirt?
Oh, he went away.
You definitely mastered being stupid, but go ahead. I didn't know you could hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. So that's pretty much my background in softball. Like I said, this is my 16th year, and like I said, I barely played this year, and I think it's kind of coming out the end for me. But I still enjoy coming around and being dumb and whatever, tearing up people on my team.
Appreciate it. Well, Clay, welcome. This is
Thank
your
you.
time slot, so
Sorry, Clay, I stole your thunder.
Nah, you're all the way good. I have enough thunder, brother. You can have it.
Go ahead.
yeah, I just want to talk to you a little bit about TPA. What do you guys got going on? Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, TPA. The association is doing well. It's thriving. I've took a step back this year a little bit because I wanted to refocus my energy on my family and things that I should be doing that I hadn't been doing that I needed to do, and softball hasn't been a real priority for me right now. And but home life is great. God's blessed me. Work has been unbelievable. God's blessed me there too. So softball is back in the picture, and we're going to get rolling, man. But like I said, I got good directors, and they're doing a good job so far as the TPA, the association. But the softball team, TPA, we're doing all right. We've won some tournaments. I mean, we're doing fine. Can't seem to get all the players there, though. You know, I'm always missing at least two pieces to the puzzle, if not three, every weekend. It's crazy. So, but as you know, you've played ball long enough. You know that June, July is not even. Who cares, right? September is the time that you really want to jail and be there. So, yeah, that's where we're at. That's where I'm at.
So if I want to play TPA, where do I find the schedule? I honestly don't know anything. Where do I find the schedule? What parks do you guys use? What all states are you guys in?
We're in Ohio. Very little though. I mean, because Ohio's a tough nut to crack, man. You got Cincinnati. You really got U-Trip in Brandley and them, and then you got One Nation on up a little bit. So it's kind of tough to crack that nut. I mean, you can get we got a couple tournaments here and there in Ohio, but that's a tough nut to crack. We're in Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, and then I'm going to be in West Virginia next year. Like I said, I took a step back and let's let the directors really do what they needed to do. But I see that it needs me, man. It has to have me. Whether people agree with what I say or do, the majority do. So, or at least they are entertained by it. So either way, but to find the schedule, usually it's either on playtpa.com or it's on Facebook page, TPA Sports, something like that. I mean, it's on there. The biggest tournament of the year is always going to be the Super Worlds, man, and that's the first week of October in the nicest park in Kentucky, which is down in Owensboro. It's all turf fields. There'll be, I say, 70, 80 teams. I mean, it's a good time. Right here in Kentucky, we really play a lot in Frankfort and Lexington, and we play in Southern Indiana. But that's really where we're at.
So how do you qualify for the Super World? Is there anything you especially need to do?
Usually you got to play in a couple events. Usually I make it where you can play in the ball diamond if you want, just play in one event. There it is. And then boom. Me personally, I don't believe in you have to play in 4 or 5 events in order to qualify to go play, because man, there's way too many associations, and some of the associations, whether I like them or not, they have good tournaments. Me personally, I don't like anything about One Nation. I think One Nation is what I think they are, whatever. But I'm not gonna go into that. But the Mojo is a great tournament. It's the biggest tournament around. It's a great tournament. U-Trips, they've got big tournaments that you'd like to play in. Matter of fact, we played in the Bush 2 years ago in Arkansas. 40-something years tradition. We won that tournament actually in the Open. So WSL, they got the Panama City tournament. That's a good, solid tournament. I mean, of course it's loaded. I mean, anybody can play in it, but it's still a big, nice tournament. And me, I don't think you should put any stipulations on, playing, because if you're a coach / sponsor, you want the most bang for your buck, is how I feel. And if I can go to a tournament and get playing 30, 40 teams, then that's what I would like to do, and I don't think so. So to answer your question, this year here, you don't have to qualify. Now I will go through your roster personally. I will, and 2 other of my directors will also. So, and will a guy sneak in here or there like a Legend Day? Yeah, he might sneak in here or there, but for the most part, somebody knows.
I'm a negative war at the sea level.
Well,
I'm negative war.
Not.
Okay?
You bring a lot of
gayness.
Sometimes
you gotta have that. I don't care what. Sometimes it's not always talent. I'm not the best player, but I will have fun and loosen guys up. Because I mean, you look at our team. You look at our team, and we got on paper, we're like the Yankees or something, but we don't put it all together because we got too many names like Cam.
Your best player in my eyes, the best hitter you got is that the leadoff guy.
Rodney.
Is that what's Combs' brother?
Bradley Combs?
Yeah.
He's not leading off right now, but yeah, he has
best
to hit
hitter
our
you
ball.
got.
But
Left-handed kid, hard to get out. If he could play out, if he was playing outfield, he'd be one
he
of the best
used to.
around here.
He used to.
He's definitely he's a good 700 hitter, and everybody says they are, but they're not. They're full of shit.
Everyone says they're 600 hitters, but
they're not full of shit.
No.
But anyway, back to it, man.
Sorry.
This year here, you don't have to qualify. You will put your roster online. It'll be verified to what class that you think you're going to play, we'll okay it or we won't, and then go from there. But Super Worlds first week of October, all turf fields. It's a nice event, man. It really is.
So Clay, what are some of the different rules in TPA versus UTRIP and GSL?
It's a lot like GSL, except for there's more offense. Like E is 1 home run with no DHH and it's ending inning. D is 2 home runs with a DHH with the ending inning home run. C is 3 home runs, 2 DHHs. I mean, so man, if you're a true C team and you got some pop, you can score 30, 40 runs if you really wanted to, I mean, it just really depends. Y'all got to excuse me for walking around. I'm thirsty.
So technically, if I'm a UTRIP D team, where would you think I should play?
Now, see, that's where it all gets fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of teams, they look at that class beside their name, C, D, E, B, whatever it is, and they tighten up. That they say, "Oh, we're not a C team. We're not a C team." But in my eyes, if you are a true solid D UTRIP team, I mean, you're winning tournaments in D. You're good. You're a C team in TPA. Because the competition, to be honest, and I'm probably the only honest person in any of the damn associations, but to be honest, the TPA, the competition is not at that level. There is no sandbagging. I mean, it is really the fairest, and I'm not just saying it because it's TPA, because I'm a realistic person. I'll tell it like it is, even if it's against myself. I'm gonna tell the truth. But the competition is not as strong. So if you're D in UTRIP and you're a solid ass D team, and you know what solid is or not solid, then you're a C team in TPA and you'll do okay. Here's the number one thing in all the associations that is in fine print that a lot of people don't understand and don't really want to understand. It's not if you're a C team or D team. It's can you compete at that level? Not win. Can you compete at that level? And there's a fine line there, and most directors don't enforce that because they want the money. I enforce it because I don't need your money. I want it to be fair. I don't want a team that really can't play D to be playing D. But if you can compete at that level, you should be at that level. Now, there's D teams. I'll give you a team that is C in UTRIP right now, and in my personal opinion, and they might get mad at me or whatever, but it's just my opinion. Nasty Boys, they're Nasty Hooks. I'm sorry, Nasty Hooks. They're not a C team in my eyes. I think they're a solid ass D team, and they would be a C team in TPA, but not in UTRIP, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they had the auto bump, and I give them all the credit in the world for sticking up and playing UTRIP C. But realistically, they're not a C team. I mean, and I think they'll be the first people to tell you that as well. And they're going to play hard, but realistically, they were built to play D.
And that's it. Most coaches, if you're a good coach, you are going to recruit in the off season for whatever class you plan on playing. And now sometimes things happen that you do get auto bumped here or there or whatever. But as a good coach, you have to be prepared for them occasions to pop up, man. And if you're not, you're going to be just like Nasty Hooks. You're screwed. You're going to take your ass whoopings or lumps or whatever you want me to say, and you're going to keep going. And I commend them guys. I really do. And I don't know any of them on that group. I'm not friends with any of them. But I will say this: I do commend them because they are taking their lumps and they're not backing down. That's tremendous to me.
Yep. So BB had a question. Do you guys have an open division, or what's the highest level that you guys offer?
B. Usually in Super Worlds, I'll combine the B and C if there's enough B teams. And what I mean by more than 4, I mean I have to have 4 or 5, at least 4 or 5 B teams, and then we'll figure it out from there. I never combine C and D. I never combine D and E. I don't do any of that. Usually we get enough E teams, you get enough D teams, and usually you get enough C teams, to tell you the truth. So
could a guy like BB play on a B roster? Would you consider that?
who?
BB, Stephen Smith.
Could he play on a B roster?
Yeah.
Yeah. You play it. You can be. I don't. See, here's the thing, man. This is how I look at it, man. You can have a conference player who is, let's say, A.
Yep.
Play B. But if that B team has 6 or 7, quote, B players, but they should be really A players,
yep,
you can't do that.
Sure.
You have to police that. And I understand why other associations don't police it because they're so big.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's the truth. They're big. Like U-Trip's the biggest in the nation. You know, they're going to stay the biggest. They're always going to be the biggest. And they can't police that. And they don't give enough control to the directors to be able to police it, to police it. And some of the directors they do give control to, they won't do it because they want the money for the team to enter the tournament. So now me, I've probably got, I don't know, 6,000-7,000 players that's registered, maybe 10,000, somewhere around in there. I can do that. I can go through, and I've got enough connections and resources that I can reach out and ask, hey, who is this guy here? Does anybody know him? And I'm going to get the whole feedback from everybody on him. So I can do it. Is it a lot of time and stressful for me? Yes, it is. But the end product is worth it, man. It's completely fair. I've never played in any association that has been completely fair. And I say that about any association other than TPA. Every week there's a different winner. There's not a team that goes back to back to back winning. And I like that.
Here's one. What's the negative and real reason why classifications aren't the same across all associations? Seems like that benefits teams that play the same in some associations over others. I'll let you go ahead and lead with the answer there, but I have an answer for that too. Go ahead.
It's just what I said.
Yeah.
It's really, you got the directors, and I'll throw it out there because I'm a big boy. I can handle it. You take WSL, Bill Martz in Kentucky. He owns his own ballpark. It's beneficial for him to let teams play at his ballpark. So what does he do? He took one of my players, who's a B player, who's probably the best player in all of Kentucky, best player in the tri-state area, in Chris Berry. You're not going to get a better player than Chris Berry. He can play any position out there better than who you got, and he's going to hit you 700. That's the truth. He deserves to be A, and he should be in a conference somewhere. He just don't choose to be. Just 3 weeks ago, he was B as in boy in WSL. B as in boy in WSL. I've got him on my roster. I know. He's my player.
Right.
Is that Jack dude? The monster?
No, he's not.
And then 2 weeks ago, he's in Bill Mart's WSL tournament playing D as in dog. How can that be? Well, I look on there. Now he's not B no more. He's C. So instead of me getting mad, you know what I say? Thank you. I appreciate it. Because now when I go to your Worlds WSL, you just gave me another B chip to pick up when I've already got a B chip.
Yeah. So I'll comment on that a little bit.
Those are the rules, though, man. You've got directors who will change things and bend rules to gain the teams to have more numbers in their tournament. That's one good reason. Number two is a lot of associations, they don't put in the time and effort to figure out who this player is. Just like Chris Berry. Chris Berry, he should be at least a B player. He shouldn't be dropped from B for a while. I like him at C. I want him low as possible. Why go pick another one up? But you got other associations who don't know who he is, so they don't do their research. Whether and why they don't do the research, like I said, it might be because they're too big. It takes too much time. It takes too much effort, or they figure, hey, we'll just let it play out, and if we miss a few or whatever, somebody will start bitching about them. We'll come back and change their lettering. That's it, man. That's what I believe. What is your thought on that?
So Bill Martz does have a committee that he sends all of his player appeals through. So I'm guessing it went through his committee and got approved. Whether it should or not, I won't comment on. But they do have a process. It wasn't just Bill changing a letter. I can assure you that he follows everything to the book. I know I was on his committee for a while, so I'm not sure what happened there, but that's their process.
Okay. I'm not a. I know otherwise. I mean, I've seen it.
I agree with you on Chris Berry. He's a very solid player. I've been playing against him for years on the circuit and stuff like that. There ain't anybody better around than him. So
no. So what committee? Hey, so whatever committee they got right on, you better fire them. You better get rid of them.
They clearly don't know who that guy is. So
hell no. Hey, he's fired. There's no way in the God's green earth he should be playing D as in dog.
No, there's no way.
No.
Is he coming up to Dayton this weekend, Clay?
You damn right he is. He's on my.
Is he? Is it? Are you going to stay the night at my house?
Yeah, he'll be there. Well, no about your house, because then he won't fucking show up for the tournament.
Why? I got baby pictures at 10. Then I'll be there after. Is that a Bud Light?
No, it's a Pepsi. But I don't know, man. I don't know, man. WSL has got teams sanctioned places they shouldn't be, but so does every other association. You know, I think my personal opinion, I think UTRIP is. I like UTRIP, man. I do. If I didn't start my own association to prove a point, then you know, I would have wished that UTRIP would have took over. But unfortunately, in the state of Kentucky, UTRIP, you've got incompetent people running it, so it ain't never going to work. You know, when you have any director at all, or hell, in any business at all, if you have someone running it that is for themselves and they're all about the money that they can gain for themselves, they'll never grow it. It'll never grow to be anything other than something that they're going to gain from, you know, and that's sad because it's not about us as the players or us as the coaches. It's about paying that LG&E bill, you know, lights and gas bill or whatever. But
what's the best complex in Kentucky?
Probably Jack Fisher Park, the one I'm telling you about, and that has the.
Is that the one that we played at last year? Where we met?
Is it Owensboro? No, that you're
down
talking
75.
Hopkinsville. Hopkinsville is probably the second nicest in Kentucky, next to Jack Fisher Park. Jack Fisher Park is in Owensboro.
Oh, that's the one. That's in Louisville, right?
No, it's in Owensboro.
What? Isn't there a park in Louisville?
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to call it, but yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I played there.
Tom Sawyer or something like that.
Tom Sawyer. That's it.
It's ran down. They don't put no money in it, and I don't like the people that run it, but rightfully so. Any money you're putting in it, you're just putting in money for somebody else's complex. They don't own it. They just lease it. They don't get no kickback off of it. So why would you make Chris Day's house look great when you're not living in it? You know,
it's true.
True. I don't blame them.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about, Clay?
No, man. I see that a couple times y'all had TPA where Days predicted to win a tournament or whatever, and we've let y'all down. I hate that, but it
bad coaching.
Well, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if it was, I promise you I would tell it because I hold myself more accountable than anybody.
Right.
No, I mean we if we would have had the team that I originally recruited, I don't think we'd lose many tournaments at all. To be honest, my center fielder is he's every bit of a conference player. He broke his leg playing major. He played. That's Jordan Taylor. He played center field for me. Then my right fielder plays. I think he plays A or double A now. He just left me about a month ago. So if them two guys stayed and didn't get hurt, whatever, we'd be hard. That's 2 700 hitters.
Plus, you have House, the best pitcher around.
House is the most underrated pitcher. And,
dude, he's fucking good.
He is really good, man. He is really, really good. Conference teams have asked him. A bunch of conference teams asked him to play, I tell you what, he's one loyal ass dude, and
he's just a good old boy.
He is a great guy, and he owes me nothing, man. And that it surprises the shit out of me that I've done so much for people on and off the field, but for him, I haven't done much of anything. And that dude tells other people, and it ain't just out of his mouth, it's just what other people's come and told me. So I know it's true that he said, no, I'm going to retire. I'll retire when Clay retires. And I'm like, wow, man, you know, that's humbling. You know what I mean? It's humbling to hear that, man. Because
when are you going to retire?
Owe me nothing, man. I don't know. I say that every damn year, man.
So do I.
I've got 6 world rings. I don't need no more, but I sure would like to have one.
I didn't ask you to brag. I just asked when you retired.
I don't know, smart ass. I don't know, man. I was thinking about.
You're not going to retire.
Well, I was thinking about this year here, man, but I got a couple guys that I've always wanted to come play with me that are solid ass players. They're B players, but next year they'll be C, of course, and I could have one of the most dominant C teams around next year if I picked them guys up and kept the guys I got. It would. So I don't know, man. I'm a competitor. I always like to win. You know, I hate losing. So I don't know. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna fold that team up or what?
No, ever since we beat you and you said we were folding up, and I said we're gonna keep going.
I knew that would be the spark you needed to catch fire. You know.
Yeah.
Was
what's that?
Was that at West?
Yeah.
I think I heard.
Yeah. I can't argue with it. They beat us twice or 3 times, maybe. Hell, I don't even know, but I can't argue with it.
Yeah.
All I can say is the truth of the matter. They're not better than us, but somehow or another they beat us. So
happens.
Well, typically a book that I go by, if you beat somebody more than they beat you, you're typically better than them. Flies guys is better than Smooth.
Well, I don't know about that. Let me get my whole team there, and we'll see.
Oh, here we go with the whole team missing this guy, missing that guy.
We lose. I don't blame no guys or nothing. We're losers. We're losers. I face it, but
it doesn't matter. All those C teams are pretty even across the board.
Well, I should have a pretty good team this weekend, so we're gonna see.
Not if I don't let you in the park.
Well, that might happen, but
coming into my city.
That's okay. I get there.
Your first time up here?
Yeah, you won't be there until 10 anyway, so I'll already be
there. I got baby pictures at 10:45, and then I have something to do, I told her.
Oh, I'll be playing at 10:20, so you can't keep me out.
After you lose, then what are you going to do?
Well, I mean, if you want to put a little money on it, we can. I don't know who we play.
I wouldn't want to embarrass you.
Put some money on it. I'll put money on anything.
I don't gamble. I'm in the gambling business, so I don't bet on stuff.
That's a good excuse.
It's the truth. It's like a drug.
Ryan Ricky before he gets upset.
What'd he say?
You gotta say something about Ryan Ricky before he gets butthurt.
Oh my God, that dude! I got him on mute. That dude calls me nonstop. Want to talk about fucking everything under the sun. It'll be 1 o'clock in the morning. He want to talk about fucking softball. Shit. I was like, God Almighty, son.
Dude loves it.
That's usually how he gets me up.
He eats it. He eats, breathes, and shits softballs, Mountain Dews, and Marlboros.
God, that's so Kentucky. That's so awesome.
He's redneck as hell.
Love it.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So, are y'all talking about the tournament this weekend that you got going on?
What, the Midwest National, I think it is now.
Hell, I don't know. What is the tournament going on that we're playing in?
Oh, your tournament. I don't know.
Me? I don't fucking know.
It's in Kittner or something.
What is it?
Is it Crewy's tournament?
Crewy, what is it? Slugfest. Is it Slugfest?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Slugfest. I don't know softball stuff. I don't know terms. I don't know conferences.
Well, it shows.
Yeah. I don't know bats. It's all the same. I just know that there's a tournament and there's a bunch of good teams in it and a bunch of bad teams.
There's some good teams in that tournament of his.
That's what I just said. But Tappan dropped and J&L dropped.
Old Bag's still in it?
Old Bag's in it. You guys, us.
We beat Old Bag one time 37-15 and then turn around and lose to you guys. How's that happen?
Better coaching.
Well, you was drunk, so you do your best things probably when you're drunk.
Well, that's part of the reason I got stopped. I got it because I just get fucking clueless. And then I start driving home and just start doing dumb shit. So I have not drank since June 17th.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man.
Don't
I'm
come to
sober.
the park, or I'll make you drink. Cause
No, I'm bringing my dog. I'm bringing my dog. So make people jealous.
Right.
Maybe I'll bring my kid.
This I don't get on this page very much. What's it called? Queen City? Something.
Queen City discussion. Are you doing the All-Star game this year where people can vote again?
That's up to Dave. I haven't heard yet.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Even though it was politics, obviously, but that was still cool.
Just a vote. Right. Do you have anything for Clay before we?
Yeah. So Clay, I got 2 questions for you. First one, who was besides you guys? Who's the best team down there where you're from?
I have to say Cornerstone.
Okay.
I don't really care too much. Well, I can't say I don't like doing business with the guy that runs Cornerstone, but I don't dislike him. Let's say that. So he always tries to steal my players, of course. When he did, he got my right fielder. He's been trying to get my pitcher for fucking 3 years now, but that won't happen because he can't buy him. But other than that, Cornerstone's pretty good. Then there's nobody better than us around here or as good as us. That's my opinion. I mean, but you got some good D teams and E teams, but like my man said, there's different different classifications. So one of our best E team or D teams that's around here, they go play WSLE.
Who's that?
Them boys, and then you got Six Pack. You got Six Pack. You got Buffett boys, whatever. They're D, but they should be C. They've come to Cincinnati and won a couple tournaments.
Yeah, they got a good team.
Yeah, but they don't play TPA because they have to play C, and when they have played, they've lost. But I mean, it's like you said, man. It's different classifications across the board. You know, nobody's gonna be a B player all the way across the board. It just don't happen. So, that's what I'd say. No, we don't have any C teams here in Kentucky. Just us. Well, I take that back. HTS. They're supposed to. I think they're a C team, but we don't see them at all, really. And I'd say Cornerstone's probably, if you want to go by letters, I think Cornerstone's probably the best, then us, then HTC by default.
Okay.
But what about up in Ohio? Who y'all think the best C team is up in Ohio?
In Ohio in general, it's probably that Amish.
Yeah, Amish.
Amish are hard to beat, man.
Why are they so good? I don't get it. I don't care how much you practice.
You know why? They play for each other, buddy. They do the right
I know.
things.
Yeah, that only goes so far, though.
No, when you do the right things, good things happen to you.
I get that, but
it's in life in general, Dave. If you do the right things in life, good things happen.
I get that, but still, there has to be some sort of athleticism at the same time. Like,
well, they're all of them are fairly athletic. They're not.
I know, but they're all
like
$160 and they hit the ball fucking hard. It makes no sense.
Well, they got good bats too. Some of
them.
Okay,
well, but seriously, like you look at them like they don't look good.
Well, let me say this, man. You take a 25-year-old boy, or I say boy because I'm older, but you take a 25-year-old young man and you wake him up at 3 or 4 in the morning and he works all day long, hard labor, not sitting behind a desk with a pencil. I mean labor. Hammer nails and packing shingles and shit for all day long for 8 good hours. Then he goes out for another 4 hours and practices softball. His arms and his hands and his body is hard. Do you see any guys that are on them teams that are like really extremely out of shape?
Just the one coach with curly hair.
That's why he's the coach.
I know, but he's probably my favorite Amish guy, though.
But I'm just saying, none of them are out of shape. Even the big guys that got a little weight on them, they're not out of shape. They're still hardened. You know what I'm saying? When you do men work, it hardens you, man. And them dudes, their bodies are hard. I mean, they're in shape. I mean, that's what they do.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm gonna drink Pepsis. You know what I mean?
Well, you're an American fighter. You're also an American fighter too. You know,
Not me. My fighting days are over. Hopefully.
well, I know. I saw your old shirt from back in the day. You know, you used to fight.
Well, I'm not no more. I'm done fighting. I'm retired.
No, I think you got one in you, man. That video a couple weeks ago, you said you got one more in you.
Oh, I do on the right person.
I'm 0-1 in a fight, so just let me know.
Well, no, I'm scared of you.
I would be too.
I don't want none of you. The only person I'm going to sucker punch, and I said sucker punch, is Chris Wilson. That's the first one I'm hitting.
I wouldn't blame you.
Because he might not hit me back. He'll feel sorry for me. He's a good guy. You ain't no good guy.
I know. Well, I am from Kentucky, though, so I got redneck in me.
I know it. That's why I ain't messing with your ass.
I'm from Hazard.
Yeah, what about that Young Money team? Is that Young Money team any good in C?
Yeah,
they're good.
Yeah. I know my boy.
I would say my personal opinion, I would say they're the best C team that's not Amish.
Well, they can't play U-Trip because they'd be B, right?
That's right, yeah. Well, okay, so would you consider them a C team or a B team?
B.
Probably. Just because of U-Trip?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, U-Trip's the top dog. So, in my opinion, if you're going to go by any classification, they said, hey, you got to go by this classification, I'd go by U-Trip. Because you can't count on WSL or definitely not One Nation. You can't count on their rating.
Why don't they just make everybody the same? It's not like you're better in one association than the other as a player.
Well, One Nation has, I told you, because it's all about money. I mean, you know, like Young Money. Young Money can go play C in One Nation. They can play C in WSL. And that's where they're going to spend their money. Because they can play C. If they got to play B, they're not going to go play B. They might a tournament here or there, but they're not. And rightfully so. Why would you if you're them? I don't blame them. I'm not talking bad about them, so I don't want nobody to misunderstand what I'm saying.
I'll get Yoder on you.
So, Chris, think of it this way. Think of it like you're the Hooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got nationally bumped to C. So now you got to play C, WSL, C, One Nation. You basically can't really even play, right? So now you have options. So you can still play your C U-Trip. Now you can play DWSL, D1 Nation. You can still have compete in some tournaments and still play, you know, your U-Trip as well. But you're not losing a whole year basically.
Right. And if I was Nasty Hooks, I would do that right there. I'd take my ass whoopings in U-Trip and play as much as I can play and play the better teams I can play, and then go play WSL D, go play One Nation D, and kick them teams' asses because I'm used to playing up here. And that's what I would do. Now, there's a lot of other teams doing the same shit. Don't get me wrong, but that's what I would do. Playing better teams, they say playing better teams doesn't make you better, but it does make you better.
Yeah, it does.
So I've lived that. It definitely makes you play better.
Right.
But
I think it's Chris Day's turn. Is there anything else before we say goodbye to Clay?
I just want to ask Clay, you saw the Johnny Leap hit last weekend, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thoughts?
He's a buddy of mine too, man. I bet I've had 12 to 15 people write me and talk to me about it and this and that, want me to go live on it and this and that. And I got to say this, man. He's a really good buddy of mine, okay? But you knew what you're getting into before you got into it, son. I mean, bottom line is this. They say, Clay, you want to go play against Rosmondo? No, I sure do not. And it ain't about me being no man. It ain't about me being no male figure, being a pussy, excuse my language, or whatever you want to call me. Call me whatever you want. But me, I don't have no business out there with that playing against that team. I'm not that good. I've never been that good, and I ain't never going to be that good. So why would I want to step on the field against that guy to prove what? Nothing. So I'm not going to do that because in the ultimate, at the end of the day, majority of people have to go to work. Majority of people do have families that they'd like to see again. And the ball is coming, probably 200 mile an hour being hit off them dudes. And it hurts. And it's going to hurt. And it can kill you. Now, them players, Johnny Leap is, like I said, he's a buddy of mine. He is a true D as in dog player. That's what he is. He can't field the ball very well in the middle. He pitches really well. But, man, at 200-something mile an hour, a ball coming at you, it's hard to defend it. And if you ain't got great Chris Berry hands, you shouldn't be there. And in that tournament, that guy that brings them in and has them play, it's all a gimmick. It's just to get other teams to come play. And it worked. I congratulate you. It's a business tactic. It worked. You got the teams to come play. But if the teams were smart, they would say, why do we want to go to any tournament to play against these guys that we can't beat? You're not going to beat them. Unlimited home runs. They get to swing away. No way you're going to beat them. If you beat them, there's something wrong. They get paid thousands of dollars to play that game. You don't get paid nothing. You shouldn't be on the field with major players and you're an E and D player. You should not be. And if you are out there, God bless you, but you're going to get what you get. And Johnny Leap is a perfect example of why players at his level and the level that's in that tournament should not be on the field with them guys. And I've seen that some people said, oh, he said he was going to hit middle just to scare him, or he said this or that. He's a douchebag. He's a piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. And he might be all of that. He might be. I don't know the guy. I actually had to look him up to see if we was even friends on Facebook, and we are, but I don't even know him. But he can be all of that. That's beside the point. The point is, you know when you get out there that there is a possibility that you are going to get hurt. And playing against them guys, you have nothing to prove. You got nothing to gain by playing against them. So why are you playing against them? Just to say you did it? That don't make no sense to me, man. So I'm not going to bash that guy for doing it. If he did it on purpose, I think me personally, I think it's a low blow to do that, because him as a player, he should hold himself a little higher than that. Even if the pitcher was running his mouth, which I know Johnny Leap, he was not, because he is scared. So I know he wasn't. But even if he was running his mouth and talking all kinds of trash, I would laugh at him if I was the caliber of player of that guy, because I'd say, man, I could take your head off. You're just lucky I'm not. And I would let that go. But some people ain't like that. Some people will take their head off. And maybe he did it on purpose. Maybe he didn't. If you know anything about softball and you look at the swing looks like, hey, straight middle. I mean, it's a 3-1 count. Why else would you swing at that? But I'm not here to judge that guy. I'm here to say it's nobody's fault but yours, because you stepped out there on the field. You the one that wanted to play against them, and look what happened. I mean, and I love Leap. Johnny Leap's my buddy, man. He can call me right now. I'll get my car and I'll drive 3 or 4 hours to help him if he needs help. Matter of fact, I was one of the first people to write him and call him, because I want to know he's okay. And I just think it's an unfortunate thing that happened, but I've said it all along, man. You don't have to prove nothing in softball. Softball is just a game. I give 2 damns if that dude can hit 500 feet, 400 feet, or 300 feet. That don't make a man or a character to me. That don't mean shit to me. Chris Berry being as great as he can be, that don't mean shit to me. Do you take care of your kids? Do you pay your bills on time? Do you love your wife? Do you believe in Jesus? Those are the things that make me respect you. How you treat others and the things you do in life, that's what I like. Not because you can pick a ball or you can hit a fucking ball 1,000,000 miles. That shit don't matter, man. Because at the end of the day, it don't. Because one day, that dude that hit middle, he won't be able to hit like that forever. Father Time catch up with you, brother. But it is what it is, man. I like I said, I wasn't ever going to speak on it, because I'm both ways. He's my buddy, and the other dude, he's not. I don't even know him, but I leave it at that, man. I wouldn't have been out on the field, much less pitching. Fuck.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the money thing, because I asked the conference guy, because they're just beating the middle of death against a C team, and I asked him, I said, why do you guys do that? And he said, well, we get paid for our average and stuff like that. So if I can go 4 for 4 against a C team, that allows me to go 2 for 4 against a major team. My average still looks good.
And you know what? Makes sense, man. Because at the end of it makes sense. I mean, and you would do it too. If you was that good to do it, You would do it too if it's putting food on the table for your family.
Right.
That's how you got to look at it. Like that guy right there, he might have needed his average to be somewhere to get that extra bonus or whatever, so that he can feed his family. We don't know,
right.
and that dude might not never talk about it. And if I was him, I wouldn't talk about it, because at the end of the day, none of them people give two shits whether about that pitcher. They don't care about Johnny Leap. I was told, and I don't know, but none of them out there even asked, was he okay? Which I kind of got a problem with that, because considering 3 or 4 of them guys are from Kentucky, they know Johnny Leap, they're cool with Johnny Leap. I'm not going to trade in who my character is because I'm with you and you don't like this guy. If they don't like you, that's fine. But I'm not going to change who I am because of Day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and them dudes, they should have asked if he was all right, and they might have. I don't know. You know how you get third-party stories? You don't know, and I don't know, and I'm fine with that. That's why I wasn't never going to comment on it, because I don't want to be the jackass that didn't know the real story. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I knew you were friends with Leap. I just wanted to get your take on it.
I hope he's okay. I talked to him, and it's more mentally than it is physically. He did break something. I forgot what he said it was.
Where'd it hit him at? His shoulder? It looked like him in his shoulder, in the wrist.
Yeah.
Like he went up like that and it hit him?
Well, he went like this to actually, if he just fell down and not put his hand out, he would have never got hit. But as he was moving backwards, he put his hand out like this, and the ball hit him in the wrist.
And it broke it?
It did.
Wow.
Well, you imagine 200 mile an hour from that distance? That dude murders the ball, dog. I mean, he murders the ball. But even if he would have hit it on the ground, if it takes on these fields, if it takes a bad hop or anything, it's going to split your face wide open, man. I mean, you can't predict what it's going to hit. Then that's what I say, man. I'm not getting out there with them dudes. Now, if you want to pay me, say, hey, Clay, I'll pay you to play against Rosemont. Okay, well then let's talk some business. Let's talk some money. But far as me getting out there just to prove, hey, Day, I'm a man today. I caught this ball that was 200 miles. No, that's okay. You be the man. I'll be the spectator. No, but I think it's more mentally for Leap though, man, because he came off an injury not too long ago with his leg, and then he's been injury bitten bug, man, and I hope that he mentally stays strong and he does come back, because he loves and enjoys the game, and he's worked hard to get back in the game just to be took back out of the game, and it sucks, man, but I think he'll get there. He's got good faith. I mean, he'll be okay.
Sounds good. Thanks for coming on, Clay. Really appreciate it. Hopefully we can get you on again sometime.
Only podcast I've ever been on, man. I've turned everyone down. I probably turned 30 or 40 podcasts.
Is it because of me?
No, it's because of him,
Damn
not
it.
you. I don't even
We
like
can do it again. Maybe at the end of the year we'll do it.
Appreciate you, Clay.
No
Thanks.
problem,
Thanks,
man.
Clay.
I appreciate y'all having me. Y'all have a good night, man.
Peace.
Thanks, Clay. See you, buddy.
All right, Chris Day.
He's something else, isn't he? I love him.
Yeah.
You gotta love that guy. Just a good old redneck.
We started off with your background. And so how'd you get into sponsoring teams, and how'd you get into sponsoring SMU this year?
As far as sponsoring teams, I don't even know how it started. It was 2012. Donnie Brewer asked if I wanted to be on his team. Then he asked if I wanted to bring a little bit of money to be on his team, and his team was good. I wanted to play with Donnie, so I started out sponsoring a little bit of Donnie's team. And then I sponsored Tilton Trucking the next year. I don't know if you're familiar with them. And then I did Shamrocks for 2 years, and then I did Red Eye. I was a sponsor for Red Eye from 16 to 18.
Okay.
Chris,
then
2012, what was that team name?
Calypso.
Okay. So that wasn't with the Shane Dancer team.
No, I think that was 2011 when Shane was on his team. I could be wrong.
Okay. All right.
2012 was Calypso with Josh Wright, Netherly, Andy Young, Sacco. The other guys are probably retired at this. Albers, I don't know if you remember him. Jeremy Albers, big fucking monster.
Big monster.
He was scary. And then I didn't play in 19 and 20. I played a league night. In 20 with the Lookouts, and they needed a third baseman for World, so I went down there and played, and then I got talked into playing for Next Level in 21 and 22, and then my buddies Ethan and Chris wanted to play C, so I started talking to Crewy about getting a good team together, and then that's how this happened. That's how SMU happened for 2023.
Who's been playing third base in your absence?
Chris Wilson.
Wilson has?
Wilson, Chris Overbeck has been playing. Yeah, Wilson and Overbeck. They're gonna play anyways. I'm not gonna. Wilson's done good. I hate giving him credit, but he's played pretty damn good over there. If he only had an arm, But no, he hits the shit out of the ball. So I'm never gonna out hit him. And then Overbeck's played pretty decent over there. It's just weird having a lefty at third base. You don't normally see that.
Covers the line, right?
What's that?
Glove covers the line that way.
Yeah, I mean, Cam's play a little bit too, so we don't really have a true third baseman.
I thought you were.
at the D level.
Okay.
and not when it's cold either. Obviously, I got to find out what uniform I'm going to wear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chris,
go ahead.
What's that?
I single-handedly blame you for me going 0-2 in a 35 over Metro last year, because you were supposed to be the third baseman, and because you didn't show up, we didn't have a third baseman.
Well, it's because I knew you were going to be there, and I didn't want to let you down.
Well, appreciate that.
Fair. That's fair enough. I'll play. Maybe I'll play this year. I don't think I'll be in town. But was I supposed to be on your guys' team with Stouter? With Stouter?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd let you down.
Yeah, very, very much.
But I didn't even play on my third. I only played one inning. I only played one inning at third base on my Metro team. It was against the Tropics, and they just destroyed a ball by me, and I can't see. I pretended I couldn't see. I just didn't want to play infield. So that was my excuse, and then they beat us 28-1.
Was it Dahl?
I don't remember. I want to say it was BB, but I don't think it was because I don't want to give him the approval. I don't remember who it was. I don't know who Dahl is. I'll be honest. Which one's that? Might have been Mullen.
Mullins.
Yeah.
Dahl plays on a major team now, but he plays with the Tropics and the Metro sometimes, and he hit a ball down third base like I've never seen before. So
yeah, it did. I mean, it hit my. I dove. I thought it was sweet. It hit my hand. It hurt. So I'm done. This isn't worth it. It just isn't. It's just not worth it.
No.
So yeah, that's how I got into sponsoring. I enjoy it. It gives me some say. I get to be around people. I get to be on good teams. It is what it is. As far as what's that?
How's working with Crewy?
Crew and I go way back. But we've actually become. I've known Mike for 11, 12 years now. I've probably annoyed the fuck out of him, like half the people in the community. But now we're friends. I'd probably invite him to my wedding if that gives you anything. We actually had a serious conversation this morning. Like we have serious conversations. I have serious conversations sometimes. So it's just weird when that happens. But no, he's a good dude. He's smart and he works hard too. And he does sounds silly, but he does care about softball, and he does the right things too. I'm not just saying that so he doesn't like text me or something, but like I actually genuinely mean that. I feel bad that all these teams are dropping out of this tournament. Because that's annoying. It's just like even being, you deal with it as a coach or whatever, and people tell you last minute, oh, I can't, my car doesn't start, I don't have money to get to the field, my wife's mad at me. Like, just say you can't fucking come. Like, just or just you go on. Your team has like character people. I feel like, so you probably don't deal with a lot of that, but you know how most softball teams are. They don't. Besides Jen, everybody else in your team has character.
I can tell you how I resolve that is if that happens, all of a sudden you're not in the chat anymore.
It's true.
And we're moving on with life, right?
Yeah.
So, I think the same principle could be applied to the tournaments. If you have teams that are dropping out, well, you're not invited anymore.
Yeah, no, but it's I feel like sometimes that might be easier said than done, right?
Absolutely. Right.
Because, what if you have a tournament next week and you only got 9 teams, you need 10, and the Funk is asking you to play, and they dropped the last tournament. You're going to let them in the tournament. Maybe.
I don't know that I would, but maybe I think most people would, yeah.
You get what? Yeah. I'm not saying I'm right, but I don't know. So why do you do this?
Why do I do this?
Do you play? Do you play? Did you ever play?
I did, and I felt that I was better with the book than I was with the bat. And I was a pretty good hitter, but I was a single.
I'll ask around about that before you.
No, you're good. I was a singles hitter. I'm not very fast. I don't have a real position, and you have a slow guy on first base. I just got a single. Doesn't help a whole lot. I would say I probably hit 6.25, 650, and that if anybody knows me, my numbers are real. But again, it's just a bunch of singles, and for a guy that's not very fast.
Yeah, I call them gay hits.
I mean, it's little line drives, right? But
gay blares.
So I felt I could create a better team by actually running the team, and that's how I got to where I'm at.
What's the worst part about it? Hardest part?
Cutting people. That's the worst, right?
Or sitting people when you got 13, 14 guys, and then you feel bad.
Yep, that's the second part.
Yeah,
right?
It sucks.
Yep. So yeah,
I had an idea, and let me run this by you.
Okay.
Okay. Because I talked about this with Mike. So you got guys on your team that aren't going to come out, right? Like Lexi ain't coming out. T Gardens ain't coming out. I don't know all your players, but then you got your guys at the bottom. Your bench guys, your 11th, 10th guy. And I just look at it because I've been in that position. Am I going to play? Am I not going to play? If I go 0 for 3, am I done? If I make an error, if I play well, if I play really well, then and they take me out, it's bullshit, right? That's all. That's what we all say as softball players. If you go 3 for 3 and play whatever. So I had an idea. Is the first in the group chat? Let's say Wednesday. All your guys are coming. You got 13 guys. You play 11. Mm-hmm. The coach says, "All right, no matter what, this is the starting lineup going into the first game. No matter what." So I'm just going to use somebody on your team's name, Jeb. Even if you go 3 for 3, the second game you're sitting, and Noah's going to play for you. Or this is the lineup for the second game. This is the lineup for the first game. And then you kind of base it off of how those 2 games go if you get to the third game. I don't know. What's your thought? I think it might help calm some of the guys down. Like maybe it's just me because I'm a fucking mental case sometimes. But I do think that people do have that feeling like, oh, I have to perform, or I guess it's just life too. Or I'm going to sit. You understand what I'm getting at? Because, at the same time, okay, what if Lightsy goes 0 for 10?
Then you sit.
You going to sit him?
Yeah.
You going to sit him for real? What if he has 2 bad games? You're still not taking him out, even if you guys are winning. If Lightsy has 2 bad games in a row, he makes 3 errors and is 0 for 7, and you guys win and you're in the championship, Lightsy's playing. But if I'm on your team, I'm your third baseman, and I'm over. You get where I'm going. You get where I'm coming from. Like there's just some guys that aren't going to come out ever. But I think if you change the mindset, maybe that would help. It's just my theory in my head about coaching. Because I like managing, even though I have nothing to do with that. But I brought that up to Mike before. I just wanted to. What do you think about that?
So Doug has sat before. I don't think Lightsy ever has. I think Sam's had a game. If it's not your day, you're gonna sit down. I mean, that's just what it is. But I mean, they have a longer leash, right?
Of course, yeah.
So if Sam can go 0 for 6, if he's going 0 for 10, 0 for 12, you might be sitting with me for a while, and he'll understand that. I think do. But it's very much performance based. It also factor in who shows up every week, right? If you're showing up every week, you're going to have more chances. If you're, it's just, if your ability is so high, you're going to have more chances. And that's kind of what you got to factor every little thing in, and it's damn near impossible to get right because it can be argued every single way. Should you play the 11 guys that show up every week? Maybe. Should you play your most talented players? Maybe, right? But it's an impossible equation to balance. But you just do your best with it.
Yeah, I just feel like maybe that would help teams get through the year more too.
Yeah.
Is if because most guys at the C level are all decent ball players, no matter what. Even if you think I suck or that person sucks, like we don't suck. I don't think any of these. We're all solid ball players, and we could go play for a D team or whatever and be decent. So to have that mentality of I'm never going to play, how does a coach differentiate and actually make it where you can try and keep everybody together? Because how often does an actual team stay together for the full year and not make adds and drops? I know that's part of the game, but I think that's why you see some teams like fold, and because it's hard to get certain people in.
So if you're on my team, you're good enough to play, and everybody on my team plays quite a bit.
Mhm.
And I think that's how I do it, right? And so the guys, like you're saying, at the bottom of the roster, they know they're going to come off the bench, but they're going to get in.
Yeah.
There was the last tournament we went 0-2, so a couple guys didn't get in. But I would say every other tournament, everybody's there, gets in and gets their shot. And if they're playing good, they're staying in. And if they're not, then we'll give you a chance a little bit later. That's the best way I figured out how to do it. Is it perfect? No. Did I make mistakes? Absolutely. But that's the best way I figured out how to do it.
Do you guys really like giving your lineups the night before?
I don't.
We don't do it. We don't do it. I would just throwing it out as a suggestion. Like, would that give people a different mindset? Like some guys, I'll use myself as an example. Maybe I'm being selfish right now, but if I knew going into that morning that I was playing that first game, if I'm one of those iffy guys, right, then maybe I'm not as nervous, or maybe I'm more relaxed, or I'll play better, and or if I know no matter what I'm going to play the second game. I don't know. We've never done it. I was just throwing it out there just to see, but that might cause drama too. Like
So
somebody might Go ahead.
Right. If I'm your coach and I tell you, hey, Chris, you're not playing this first game at 8 a.m., and then I tell somebody,
That's what I was going to
tell your team, hey, I want you guys there at 7 a.m. Are you really going to show up at 7 a.m.?
That was going to be my next. That was going to be my next comment. Is somebody's going to accidentally sleep in, and maybe you need him to pinch hit or play, because somebody else doesn't show up. But that was. I'm not saying I was just throwing the idea out there. Like, is it a different? Because half this game is fucking mental. I think, skill is one thing. Obviously, like you're only going to be as good, but half of it's a decent amount of it's mental too.
So, like I said before, like you're going to play at some point. So the way I do it is I post the lineup right on the wall as I'm going to the coin flip, and I don't tell anybody anything until that point. And that's because I want everybody to warm up. I want everybody to be ready to play. And if you're not in, be ready to go in, because half the time you do. If somebody gets hurt, when you pinch hit or whatever it may be. And that's how I do it. And everybody knows on my team, like I said, that they're going to get their chance to play and get a chance to stay in the rest of the day if they're really playing lights out. So I don't tell people the night before, because what happens if like Rhino's saying, somebody doesn't show up on time, and one of the people that I have starting, car broke down or whatever you were talking about before, so now I got 9 because my 2 backups didn't come because they knew they weren't playing. So that's why I've never done it that way. I know like the Tropics used to post their lineup, like on Tuesday, but I've never believed in that. But like again, 1,000 ways to do it. There's probably no right way to do it.
It's fair. Any more questions? Have you ever seen Noah Greyhouse smile?
All the time.
Really? I've never seen him smile. Probably because he's around me, but I have not seen him smile ever. Never seen him talk.
So
he's a shy guy.
He got me pretty good up in Columbus. I was just sitting there, and one of my things is I'm always terrified. I don't want to piss anybody off about their girlfriend, so I try not to ever. I try to stay away from. So he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey Z, you can't talk to my girlfriend anymore." And I was like, "Oh shit, man, what'd I do? I'm sorry. What happened?" Because she said, "You have the bluest eyes that she's ever seen, so just don't talk to her anymore." He was just totally joking, but it was a pretty good one.
You kind of smiled when they said it.
Yeah.
You kind of got a little giddy.
Yeah, I did. I was oh, as far as my eyes getting, no, I was relieved more than anything, because I thought he was actually pissed.
You thought what did I
What I did.
What did I say to her?
Yeah, it's like I probably said something because I'm good for that, but I try not to.
Can I come to your next family vacation in Clearwater?
In Clearwater?
Didn't you go to Clearwater this recently?
No, I went to New York.
No, you were in Florida.
Destin, maybe?
Destin, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can if you want.
Okay, well, just let me know.
I'm not a beach guy.
I'm not either. I'm scared of sharks.
No, I'm scared of sand.
Sand.
What about you, Ryder? You got anything for old Chris Day?
No, are you going to make an appearance at the Metro this year, man, or what?
When is it?
I don't know, last week of July, I think.
Fuck.
So
It just depends if
they're not playing in the Metro?
No. We have lives. We got to work.
I mean, I figured you'd be on that primetime team.
I'm not on primetime. No, I'm not. I do like the Metro. It's fun, but the problem is like I start getting carried away. It's Tuesday night. The next thing you know, it's fucking 12:30, and then your girls, where are you at? This happened last year with Jimmy Williams. It's 10 o'clock at night. I go, I'm on my way home. I didn't leave till 12:30. Never 5 years been like one argument, one fight. Where you at? There was a traffic jam that night. I'm stuck in traffic. Well, she looked. This sounds crazy now, but she looked it up online. It was like a mile of fucking traffic on 275 or whatever it was. I didn't get home till 2. I was drunk, stupid. Like it's fun, but it's like I don't know. Honestly, be honest. I don't know when. A lot of you guys know me. I don't know. I'm a completely different person out there. I don't know when to stop because I just get like so like it's just like a release to me like. And I start drinking, and it's just dumb, but it's fun. Like that's all you can say about salt. It's really stupid, but it's fun. How do you explain it to somebody? What like
I get it.
We all get it. Like what do you really get? Like what are you actually getting out of it? I don't know. It's just fun. You can't really explain it. Like it's grown men playing softball, taking it serious.
So I got a little tip for you, man. So next time that your wife asks you where you at, so you're late, you just say, I was walking in my car and this guy stopped me and we haven't seen him in a while. We just started talking.
That's what happened to Jimmy Williams.
You use that excuse, and it's a guy I haven't seen in a long time. He was telling me how it's been and stuff like that. Yeah.
I know. I think I did it two. The thing is, I think I did it 2 nights in a row. So it's the second night. I didn't know my boundaries. So, but I'll try and make a thing down there for Metro because I was supposed to announce with BB a game, tear some people up. Are you doing the Metro?
Yeah.
Yeah, you doing 35? Maybe I'll. No, I can't. I can't command.
I finally won my appeal, so I don't have to play in that upper 35 and over anymore. So
you can play lower.
Yeah, I get to play.
So you feel good about yourself again?
No, man. The reason I did it, my brother and his buddies that we all went to high school with, they play in the lower. So now I finally get to play with them. We're not going to be very good, but
you never know. The balls move differently.
Maybe.
So
I'm coaching Chuck's 35 and over team because he's banned.
Oh, from the fight?
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you got to draw the line with softball. Sorry, not to bring it up again, but it's like, come on, guys. It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, I saw 2 fights at East last week. I mean, so they happen.
I mean, does this sound bad that I'm about to say this? It's typically like the lower teams.
Yeah,
is it different caliber? Like people take it way too different, like far. Or, like I can't imagine trying to fight somebody over softball. And I'm guilty of it because I've talked shit in a stupid way, but I've never tried to fight anybody. But I've been on teams where they like try to fight. Like I just don't get it.
I think at the E&D levels, the talk is a little bit more personal, and I think that's what leads to the fights. But I mean, there's been fights at all levels, so maybe it's just more teams, so there's more fighting. I don't know. Could be.
Who got into it last weekend?
Oh, it was a league night at East. There was 2 teams that fought, and then there was two two gay guys that were fighting, so it was within 5 minutes of each other.
Well, it was Pride Month. Well, Pride Month is over.
Yeah. So
Were they fighting over their pronouns?
he loved this guy, and this other guy loved the other guy, or something. I don't know. it was on my way out, and then there was two teams fighting at league night. I mean, punches were thrown. It was
Seriously.
Yep, it was a scuffle. So I mean, they happen.
Well, it's just part of the nature of what we do.
Yep. All right.
All right, guys. I got to get home.
All right. See you, buddy.
I'll see you. I'll see you around, guys. Take care.
Right.
All right. Well, we didn't even get into the WSL Midwest, but that's all right. Yeah, we'll save that. We'll save that for the recap, I guess, next week.
All right.
Anything else right now?
No, the WSL East State in Kentucky, D State was run really well out in Ken Lakes. Shout out to Bill, had the fields looking good. Umpiring was very good. Them guys were overworked. They only had, I think, 5 umpires between everybody for the 2 days. So shout out to Toby and his crew for that. Rip City, really good team. Nasty Boys haven't lost a beat. Played one tournament, win it.
Yep, I always enjoy my time at Kitten Lakes. I know people complain about the drive, but it's always, the fields are always top notch, and then Bill runs a good tournament, so I always enjoy my time there. How'd you guys finish?
We finished 3rd.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we played well.
Good.
Lost Rip City twice.
Good team.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck to everybody playing this weekend.
Alrighty, same to you. Thanks, Rhino.
Yes, sir. Take it easy.
See you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.